Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angel Healing House, and welcome to Walk In Angel Ariel's weekly wisdom for this upcoming week of December the 10th through December the 17th, 2022. My name is Claire Candy Hoff, and my name is also Angel Ariel, as I had an angelic walk-in experience on January 11th of 2003, which I write about in my award-winning #1 Amazon International bestseller, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of Angel Ariel. I'd like to welcome back my loyal subscribers. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing and helping the Claire Candy Hoff YouTube channel to grow. And if you are new to finding Claire Candy Hoff for the very first time, let me share a little bit about myself through my full-time business, Angel Healing House, which I created in 2003, almost 20 years ago. I'm a Reiki master teacher, having taught hundreds and hundreds of Reiki practitioners and master teachers around the world. I'm a clairvoyant, intuitive, psychic tarot card reader. I also do past life clearings and ancestral healings, and I also provide those wonderful, restorative, recharging, re-energizing Reiki healing sessions. And I do this to boost the immune system of clients and bring back tranquility to their lives. But I also do this for businesses, homes, and buildings. So if you're interested in any of my services, as well as those award-winning books, please do go to my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, or you can always phone 831-277-3716, and do remember that's Pacific Standard Time, as we are in lovely Santa Monica, California. Now here on Walk-In Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom, we do pull tarot cards and oracle cards, sometimes runes, but we always start off looking into the planetary energies to see how those astrological aspects are affecting us. Well, a few days ago, on December the 8th, we had a full moon in Gemini, and with it being conjunct the fiery, forceful energies of Mars, which is in retrograde, it could just affect our communications, could make us a bit more assertive and aggressive in our interactions with others. So it's might just make us a little bit testy, so that's good to become aware of. Many times it's not what we are saying, but the manner in which we say something that can make all the difference. With the Mars retrograde influence, we may be feeling a little bit antsy and impatient, like we're waiting for something to happen. Now, my angelic family, they're known as the Posse of Angels, is suggesting that the more that we can find ways to release and to have faith that our new lives are being co-created by Spirit, and these are being co-created for the greatest good and highest way in order for us to serve. It's in ways that we simply can't fathom that this deep knowledge will have us rest comfortably in knowing that everything is working out in the grandest, most miraculous way. Now, all of these wonderful aspects are opening us more and more to write a new story for our lives so that we can start a brand new chapter. You know, in writing a new chapter, it's vitally important to realize that the old one has nothing new to teach us anymore, and it no longer supports the person who we have now become. And no matter how familiar and comfortable or uncomfortable that old story is, it's time to find closure and start your new chapter that does not repeat who you were, because you've grown past that. It is surprising that when our internal dialogue changes, surprising magical things begin occurring in our lives. And I don't know anyone on the planet who hasn't changed irrevocably after the last 3 years. The Posse of Angels is reminding us that our old story, it was really important to help us survive all that we have been through. But they are also cautioning us that if we step back into just replaying our old story, we will lose all the power that we gained and strive so hard to achieve. If you should find that you're falling back into your old story, don't rail against it and simply don't fear it. Just simply write a new beginning for yourself. Now, at the end of every year, and we are weeks away from the end of 2022, and certainly during holiday time, many people do have a tendency to look back, to review the past. In reviewing our past literary efforts when we wrote the story of our life, many of us can clearly see that the chapters that we had previously penned were written with a much darker ink. Now, this stands to reason, as much of the content that we focused on was heavy. It was written with a disheartened, sometimes disappointed, and unfulfilled pen. Certainly, so many of us were not unconsciously manipulated and controlled, but the higher in consciousness we've shifted is the more that we've allowed ourselves to think for ourselves and to research everything. Now, looking back over the story of my life before I awakened after my angelic walk-in experience, well, I can clearly see that what I wrote for my story was filled with fear, low self-worth, and self-denial. Now, rereading those past chapters, I saw that it had to be released, as its dark content, well, it no longer resonated with the level of light that I now began to embrace. So when it came to rewriting chapters of my story, I went about releasing my abusive marriage. Now, this was over 20 years ago. I released the predictable, programmed way that I had allowed myself to live other people's visions for my life. Now, once the pages were released, I stared at the new blank page, and do you know what? That scared the heck out of me. It had been so easy to allow others to tell me what to write, to tell me what to do, and to determine the content of my earthly book of life. But now, the power was all in my hands, and I decided to write what I wanted to read about in my future. You know, when I chose to write new content for the story of my life, I decided to write with a very different pen. I chose to write with a fearless pen, a pen that was authentic and empowered. Now, as a result of this, my new chapters took on a very different feel. Suddenly, my life went from being a predictable tale of blame, of having written myself as a victim, and then I went from that to turning my life into a great adventure. My story became one in which the heroine, me, lives life on her own terms and faces the spills and thrills and challenges and triumphs of living a life without compromise. Now, reading over the new chapters of my book of life, some of the chapters were quite sad, while others were happy, joy-filled, and renewed and exciting. Like any good novel, I guess, my story now contained moments of struggle, uncertainty, and renewed faith in myself and in God's source creator. These then led to restored hope and overwhelming achievements, successes, and victories. Now, was writing a new story for my life easy? Well, yes and no. The hardest part was deciding whether I was going to stop writing my life with fear and limitation as my main characters. You know, once I chose to change my main characters to things like faith and courage and strength of my convictions, an intriguing tale turned into a whole different novel for me. Having now written new chapters for the story of my life for almost 20 years since I, Angel Ariel, incarnated into Claire Candy's body in 2003, I see that in each and every moment of every single day. It is I who have the ability to edit and alter my story whenever I choose, realizing that the power lies in the wielding of my own pen, deciding what I want to write. I know that life does not just randomly happen to us, as we are always choosing what to write. And we do this with our thoughts, our words, our intentions, our actions. Some people love to write about tragedy and conflict, and they seem to derive such joy from being stuck in a loop of being a victim, speaking about chaos and hearsay and what's wrong with the world and how hard things are. The chapters of these people's stories almost always contain lots of judgment, separation and division, with very little resolution, and a whole lot of blaming and fault-finding and complaining. Then there are other writers who choose to look on the brighter side of life, and they write content that is uplifting, positive, optimistic, content that actually elevates the soul. These people do not necessarily have an easier life, but it is their choice to change their perspective and write about their experiences as blessings, which makes their stories absolutely inspirational reading. My angelic family, the Posse of Angels, is chiming in. They're saying, "So, what kind of story have you written for your life so far?" It's a question for you. Is it one that you love reading? Or do you prefer to hide the previous story of your life in some dusty attic or forgotten part of the basement with the cobwebs and the mice? If we have previously chosen to write a story that was written with a sad and fearful pen of limitation, well, you know what? It's vastly important to go back, wipe off that dusty book, and reread those chapters. For it's in the rereading that we will acknowledge our struggles, our pain, and the heartache that we endured, and so often pushed us to get to the stage of wishing to write a whole new story for ourselves. When I go back and I reread what I wrote for myself before I awakened, I'm not embarrassed, but I am so very proud of myself as to how far I've come. I've had many clients tell me that they have a book inside of themselves, but just have not written it yet. They look at my award-winning books and they ask, how did I go about writing them? And what preparation did I make? Well, quite simply, I tell them a writer writes. An inspired writer does not think so much with their mind about what they're going to write as allow themselves to feel the story in their heart and then open to co-create with the greatest author of them all, God Source Creator, in order to pen their story together. When I chose to stop writing myself and my story as a victim, and I started to write myself as the triumphant, successful heroine, my new life began for me. The characters that I write for myself as the heroine are now joyful, loving, childlike, adventuresome, curious, brave, authentic, true, and fearless. My heroine chooses to script chapters that are positive, challenging, passionate, loving, non-judgmental, forgiving, and filled with my faith in myself, in God Source Creator, and my beautiful angelic family, the Posse of Angels. As a result of this, the novel of my life has become an unbelievable bestseller, and the sequels to come will be even more astounding. And if you've not started to write a new story for yourself, start today. For your new, extraordinary life cannot begin if you keep writing your story with the same less than desired pen, the same less than desired relationships, the same less than desired life choices and content. And also, please phone me at Angel Healing House if you need help in writing the chapters for your new story. So let's go. Right before I went to my Oracle and Tarot cards to choose which decks that I would choose from today, the word that I heard going through this with writing a new chapter for our lives is breakthrough. It came through loud and clear. I kept hearing it over and over again. Breakthrough, breakthrough. So I usually go to my Oracle cards to start off with, but the posse of angels, they directed me to my runes. And the rune that came out for us today, not surprising, was Dagats. Dagats is the rune of transformation, and it's the rune of breakthrough. It signals a major shift of self-change that can often be so radical that for many, it will not be possible to live a routine, ordinary life in the same way that we have been living it. This will be occurring for many because of their spiritual elevation in consciousness and the integration and all the internal work that they have been doing. There are rare moments in our lives that, if recognized and seized, completely transforms the course of our lives forever. If we would choose a card in the tarot cards, it would be the Tower that comes in and breaks things down in order to transform them so we can have a breakthrough. By seizing this destined gift from God, that's what the posse of angels are calling this breakthrough. By seizing this karmic, destined, fated gift from God's source creator, we enter into a major period of achievement and prosperity, which is often introduced by this rune Dagats. A period of diligent effort and work is involved in this time of transition, but it will be something that we will be so enthusiastic, so excited and joyful about that they will not consider it work. It is definitely, with this breakthrough, they're saying it's a time of wishes and dreams fulfilled for many, and just to be open to this breakthrough and this transformation coming into your life. It's not something that we can figure out. It's not something that we have to do anything different. It's coming in as a result of all of our hard efforts and the things that we've worked towards. So I love that the breakthrough rune came out for each and every one of us. Now, then I went to my Oracle cards and I went to the Wisdom of the Oracles, and this card came out. Following our breakthrough card is one of my favorite cards, which is Serendipity. And Serendipity is a number 18, which is a 9 card. 9 cards are, yes, keep going. You're almost there. Have patience. And because things are working out more magical underneath the surface that you can't see. The dots are being connected. Those connections are being put in place, all those miraculous things that bring about the fulfillment of our wishes. So serendipity tells us that because we are now really ready, opportunities of things like good fortune and good luck, seemingly magical things. Sometimes they could be miraculous, aligned events and meetings will be presented to us through another S word, through synchronistic signs. Now this is an amazing conjunction where many will experience their version of exquisite harmony in their lives. But the luck is not just going to happen, for the luck is a result of all the time, of all the effort, of all the cleansing, the healing, the integrating of higher energies, all of our effort, our diligence, our persistence, and sometimes This serendipity has come about because of our blood, sweat, and tears that we've given to something, and we've trusted in that will be now met with miracles, and miracles that we simply could never have planned for. Now, the choices that we made in the past have prepared us for the opportunities, and it will be a case of being in the right place at the right time for that victory and success to enter our lives. So breakthrough coming in as a result of serendipitous meetings, connections, and events. And all we have to do is to stay in the present moment and watch for that wonderment and enchantment as things unfold for us now. The next card that came in from my Salt and Sea Energy deck, and this one came in, and this one is Palm Tree. Palm Tree is saying bringing ideas to life and magical creations. So its message is now that we are going to experience this breakthrough and these serendipitous occurrences, then this comes in, magical creations. You know, palm trees are really unique because they carry both the male and the female flowers, symbolizing the perfect balance between masculine and feminine energies, and those of higher dimensional frequencies have balanced out their masculine and feminine energies. Its very existence, the palm tree, is a true feat of nature as that huge, tall, towering trees. And here in SoCal, we have so many beautiful palm trees that are stretching to the sky. But they started from a tiny little seed that was fertilized, and then over time, with much attention, it developed and blossomed into that abundant, tall, swaying palm tree. It is told that the palm tree resonates with creators and artists of all kinds. So maybe if you've composed a piece of music, maybe if you're a painter, you draw, maybe if you compose through dancing or writing or screenplays or all kinds of music, all things. This is an energy, the palm tree is an energy which supports your creative endeavors. Now, this story of breakthroughs from serendipitous events that eventuate into a towering idea or message that is now ready to be seen and heard. It's a very fortuitous and magical sign that this came in after we had the rune of Dagatz, the breakthrough rune, then serendipity, the enchantment and the magical and miraculous events around that to then produce our palm tree. And I wanted to get one more card from our Spirit Oracle deck, but sometimes peanut butter and jelly happens. Now, my peanut butter and jelly cards, not that I eat peanut butter and jelly cards, but they're often just stuck together. And these two cards came out together. The first one was Lizard Spirit. Dream the world into being. I love that it's a number 11 card because so many of us out there have mastered ourselves, mastered our emotions, mastered we're no longer triggered, we're no longer reactive, we're no longer pulled just to regret and resent and be bitter about the past and what didn't happen or what did happen. And we're no longer focused on the future. We are focused on creating the most extraordinary present moment that we possibly can present. But this lizard spirit is assuring us that what will be presented to us through that breakthrough and serendipitous moments is manifesting as a result of previously allowing our imaginations to flow and dream something new into existence. You know, everything that manifests had to have started with some idea, imagination, or a belief. The posse of angels has shared with us before that most people stop themselves from dreaming big, and they wish us to dream bigger and open to receive the fulfillment of that really big dream coming true. We don't have to figure out how we're going to make that dream come true. All we need to do is to thank the universe for it. One of the things that we can say is, I now declare that everything is happening for my highest good. All that I want is coming to me faster than I can ever imagine, and I choose to trust and surrender to this divine process. And then take a deep breath in, knowing that the universe always has our back, our front, our up, our down, and their wish is our command. So we don't have to push, control, and we certainly don't have to try to figure out how we're going to make this happen. Just let go and let God, Source Creator, and your angels do the rest. So, the second animal card that came in after our lizard spirit was whale spirit, another favorite of mine. And look, it's 65, which is another 11 a number. 11 is a master number because we've mastered ourselves. And it says, trust the great mystery. Now, I just said that you don't have to force and you don't have to control and you certainly don't have to figure it out. Just be a child in the present moment. And when those serendipitous moments are and those breakthroughs are presented to us, if it sits well with your intuition and gets you very excited, step forward because it's divinely meant for you. And by stepping forward, on the other side of that are amazing rewards and recognition and the fulfillment of your desires. So in the next part of our journey, there will be sprinkled with those magical moments. And it is well to remember not to try to figure things out, but what comes next in order to understand it. Miracles are often unexplainable, as some things cannot be known by the mind, but they have to be experienced through our hearts. So just like the whale would just allow that humongous, massive body to let the water just buoy him along, do so. Allow Spirit to show you what is on offer for you, which is so much greater and grander than anything that we can conjure up. So let's go to our tarot cards and see what we have. Okay. And some people ask what I'm using. I'm using my tarot deck, which is the Angel Healing House Tarot deck. And yes, that's me, Angel Ariel on the back. Somebody asked me the other day when that photo was taken, and that was taken in 2003. It was the beginning of 2004. It was not long, about a year after I walked in. Okay, so and these cards will be available in 2003. I hoped and I wished for them to be available this year, but the posse of angels said the timing wasn't right. It wasn't quite right. So it really was a case of not pushing and not forcing anything and just allowing things just to take their natural time. Okay. One more. And let's see what comes out. First card. Talk about a breakthrough. This is the transformation card. Many people are scared when they see the death card. It rarely does mean a death of a person or somebody crossing over. It could mean that, but for the most part, it's a card of endings and it's a card of beginnings. And instead of something to be sad about, we see this fellow and the little mouse next to him. They're very sad that his beloved has passed over. But from her point of view, she's been released. She's been released to go into the arms of the angels. And this is a new chapter of her life. Now, we don't have to die in order to have a physical death in order to experience the new chapter in our life, but this is a metaphor for that new chapter beginning for us. And the more that we can open with open arms and be excited about stepping into that new chapter, the more it will come to us in all kinds of really magical ways. But all we need to do is open to receive it. Because I love that came through when we were speaking about the breakthrough before. Next card for us is the Magician card. And I've been speaking about serendipitous, almost magical things happening. You know, when we have a fulfillment, when we want fulfillment about finding that beloved relationship of ours, having that financial security that we don't have to worry from paycheck to paycheck, maybe having enough money to be able to invest. One thing I would love to do is I would love to invest in people so that they can then amass money and then they can go on to invest in other people. And to give them hope and the sustenance, the financial sustenance they need. So this all has to do with things coming in a very magical way for us, and to know that each and every one of us is an alchemist. When I teach tarot to my students, every time the Magician comes up, on my card, it says "De magia e in vorbis" or "vobis," which means the magic is inside of you. And just like this Magician has all the pentacles he needs, all the wands he needs, all the cups and the swords, we each have everything that we need inside of us to obtain or attain the fulfillment of our desires. Most of it comes down to just believing in ourselves and to go beyond the programming of how we were told that we were not worthy and not deserving of having exactly what we wish. I've worked with clients for the last 20 years, and so much of them achieving their goals is clearing up that past to understand what extraordinary magicians that they are. I love that the Magician card is a one card, because ones are about new beginnings, and they are about being that leader in your own life. You are your own authority, and you can do, be, and have whatever it is that you desire. Next card. It's the Breakthrough card. There are 2 breakthrough cards in traditional tarot, and when this card comes out, I always say it's a breakthrough. It is where we have the clarity, and the clear vision to be able to go after what we want. But the reason I put the eagles, and I designed these cards, and I put the eagles in my card, is because it doesn't matter how many breakthrough moments, if you don't have the courage and if you don't have the strength and fortitude of knowing that you can do, be, and have whatever it is that you desire, then that breakthrough moment will not be realized. So, but I love that it's another one card. The aces in tarot are all about that hand of God, Source Creator, handing us something new to break through in our lives so that those intentions and wishes and dreams can be fulfilled. I love this. Okay, next card. Here come the messages. The messages, swift messages are coming in. The hawk is the messenger, and bringing in, whether it's snail mail or phone or email or all kinds of communication coming in for us. The 8 is the number of abundance, about prosperity, about riches, about all kinds of stability when it comes to our sustenance. And I love that I put the rainbow in this card, because the rainbow is about wishes fulfilled. Wishes fulfilled somewhere over the rainbow. Well, we don't have to wait to go over the rainbow, because those breakthroughs are coming in for so many of us. Okay, next card. This is the most abundant card in the tarot deck, and it's the Empress. The Empress is, yes, taking those things that we created and we fertilized and we spent our time and our efforts and our diligence on these things, and now we are going to see, especially with that palm tree card coming in, those creators and artists and inventors, we will see the physical, grounded, tangible harvest, like the harvest of wheat there, coming into reality. And it's going to be so amazing for so many people. It's because we put in the hard work, and we're pregnant with possibilities in order for that to happen now. Next card. Okay, they're saying, okay, just a few more. Okay, there we go. Another 1 card. Another ace. It's the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this is the new beginning around money. This is the new beginning around financial stability. This is a new beginning around financial security. This is the hand of God saying yes, with what you have put your time, your energy, your blood, sweat, and tears, as I said before, into. And there's the rabbit. I just spoke about fertilizing, and the turtle, the very grounded way that this is going to come in, and is going to provide a new chapter in our money, our abundance, our prosperity. Now, that could be people getting new jobs, new careers, new business opportunities that in their wildest dreams they never would have thought that could happen. But, when you work in conjunction with Spirit, miracles happen. Anything is possible. And they're saying 2 more cards. Another Pentacles card, the 6 of Pentacles. Now, this is the giving and the receiving. Much of what I'm hearing, much of what we're going to be receiving is because we've given so much. We've given so much. And it's a cause and effect now, and all we have to do is open, just like the little animals excuse me, on the bottom here, the skunk, the raccoon, and the little chipmunk. They've all got their hands open, and all they're saying is thank you. I open to receive. I open to receive. Now, if you're one of those people that always jumps up from your heart, you know that you were a child of God, and that you weren't meant to suffer. You're meant to be in lack or scarcity. This is just an illusion of a mindset. If you are one of those people that always jump up and linearly think, well, how are my dreams going to come in, or I don't have money for this, or I don't have money for that. If you always jump up to there, once again, say over and over, I now declare that everything is happening for my highest good. Doesn't matter what it is. All that I want is coming to me faster than I can imagine. I choose to trust and surrender to this divine process. And then open to receive. Open to receive. In whatever way, shape, or form it needs to come in to be fulfilled. One more card. Okay, one more card. Oh, Knight of Pentacles. Okay, now this card is about our stability, our security. I draw the attention once again to my tarot students that the Knights are about action. They're all about action, but the only horse in the nights, out of the 4 nights, that has all 4 feet on the ground is our reliable, dependable horse of our Knight of Pentacles. And we can take this to the bank. This is something that is going to provide long-term security for us, and something which will create a very strong foundation in our lives. So there we go. I love this story. They want me to look under the deck. And what comes in under the deck is the Ace of Cups. Okay. 3 aces in a reading. I think that's pretty special. Our cup runneth over. Our cup is overflowing. All we need to do is open to receive. Let's go to postcards from Spirit to finalize this beautiful reading today. And this one was chosen. I've been speaking about serendipity and synchronicity and miracles. You are magic. Dear you, there's only one you. You have a unique place in the universe. Sometimes situations come up that challenge you. They challenge you to be authentic, and that means that you have to be fully yourself. Let go of being what you think others may want. Remember, I spoke about there was a time pre my walk-in experience when I allowed others to write the chapters for my book, and I was very, very sad. Now is not the time to conform to other people's standards or their expectations. All you need to do is be proud of who you are. Be courageous, like those eagles in the Ace of Swords. Stand tall like that palm tree. Stand tall in your convictions. Being yourself is a very powerful statement and will only lead you to success and ultimately happiness. Please, don't compare yourself to other people. Want what you have. Choose what your heart wants and know that your purpose is yours alone. That's how singular and that's how unique you are. No one else can claim your magic or take it away from you unless you hand it over to somebody who you deem to be an authority on what you can do, be, and have, and to tell you what to do. When you place authenticity and originality high on your list of priorities, and you give them a prominent place in your awareness, then extraordinary things start to happen. Your life is a beautiful one. Love you always and forever. And that just about wraps our reading up for today. If you're interested in any of my services, in those amazing, revealing, and inspiring angel tarot card readings with myself and my beautiful angelic family, the Posse of Angels, if you're interested in finding out about your past lives and where we can sweep clean your ancestral line to stop sabotaging you from having a financial flow that you want, from having a beautiful relationship, from having a strong immune system and improved health, all of these things. And if you'd like to have those beautiful, re-energizing, recharging, and renewing Reiki energy sessions, either here in my beautiful office here in Santa Monica, California, or online through Distant Healing. And if you're interested in any of my award-winning books, please do go to my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, or phone 831-277-3716, and that's Pacific Standard Time, and all of that contact information is in the description box down below. So go out, everyone, and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. I'm wishing you love, and as always, angel blessings. Do join me on Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio Now, finishing up our 11th year, the Posse of Angels and I are going to be going into 2023 in our 12th year. It's a weekly show on every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you can even call in for a free mini angel reading. Over these last 11 years, I've given away thousands upon thousands of those free readings, and you could be one of the lucky ones that gets online for one of those free readings. So I'm wishing you love and angel blessings, and have an extraordinary week. I look forward to speaking with you again next week as well. Take care, everyone. Bye.